Hello, hola, bonjour, hello, annyeonghaseyo, ni hao to all SaGa fans all throughout the world. My name's Neil Broadley, and I am once again and still the localization director for the SaGa franchise. And I am here again with our special guest today.
SaGa シリーズディレクターの河津です。お願いします。
So we are here. If you've been watching our series that we've been doing over the past several months, we've been kind of doing a deep dive into the latest trailer and some of the worlds that we're introducing in SaGa Emerald Beyond. And we have arrived at the last protagonist that we're introducing for SaGa Emerald Beyond, Diva number 5, who is a mech. So I guess I'd like to start out by saying, if you haven't seen the trailer, well, surprise, we've got it here for you. So let's take a look.
Should old acquaintance be forgot? I never but ought to mind. Should old acquaintance be forgot? And days of old lang syne.
My serial number is D05721314. I am known as Songstress Diva number 5. I don't know what I should do with myself now. Who are you? It seems I've no other choices in my life. So cheers for having me. Will I still be able to sing?
Okay, so that was pretty cool. So now you see who Diva number 5 is, and Diva is a mech. It's the first time we have mechs in a long time in SaGa. So what was the reasoning for bringing back a very beloved feature in mechs into the game?
前作のSaGaスカーレット・グレースが本当に人間のキャラクターだけでしたので、今回はとにかくいろんな種族を出そうっていうのが狙いだったので、当然メカも入れてメカらしい、フィーチャーをして、いろんな特徴を持った、バトルにおいてもストーリーにおいても特徴をつけたキャラクターにしたいっていうのを思い出して、当然そのメカ入れるからには、主人公にもしたいっていうので今回のキャラクターになりました。
Yeah, and so now like he said, we have a protagonist who is a mech in the game. And Diva number 5 is super cool. She's my personal favorite protagonist, I have to say. And we saw kind of a little bit about her story. And at the very end of the trailer, we see she's asking about her voice. So what is Diva's story? What's her inspiration for going on her journey?
彼女はある理由で、歌うことを禁じられてしまうんですよね。でメカなので歌うための機能とか、そういったものを全部封じられてしまって、で、当然その歌うためのメカなので、それを失うってことは、本当に何もできなくなってしまうわけなので、それを取り戻すためにどうやったらそれを取り戻していけるのか、自分、まさに人間がね、自分自身取り戻していくような、自分を探していくような形で、メカなんですけれど、自分の探しをするっていうお話です。
I think that's really interesting, and I kind of wanted to raise that point too, because even though she's a mech and therefore she's not a human, in many ways her story is the most human of all the protagonists. メカであるがゆえに一番人間らしい旅でかけているということでもあるということですね。Yeah, so that's pretty cool. And just the idea of having a mech go on this uniquely human experience is really interesting to me, and that's why I'm so excited to see her in the game and see her story unfold. And so we can talk a little bit about some of the worlds that she's going to be exploring. So I guess we'll start with Avalon. So Avalon is the world that Diva is living in, the world that she's from, or it's her home, I guess. I don't know if she's actually from there or not, but that's where she starts her journey. And so we first saw Miyako City, which is kind of themed after Kyoto. And then we saw Capital City, which is kind of, a modern America-inspired place. And then now we have Avalon, which is, what's the inspiration for Avalon?
メカが、普通にいておかしくない世界で、現実には存在しないんですよね。じゃあどういう世界であれば、自然にメカがいていいかっていうところで考えるときに、いろんな、世界からいろんなものが集まってきている場所、世界の中心というところで、19世紀の、いわばロンドンをちょっとモチーフにして、日の沈まない帝国の首都という そういうイメージでそこに、どこの世界から来たのかわからないんですが、歌姫のメカが、そこにやってきて歌姫として活動しているという、そういう世界を想像しました。
So we see we've got this kind of London 19th, 18th century England inspired world where we got mechs living just kind of among the regular populace. So that's pretty cool. And each protagonist kind of goes through the world in their own different ways, and different protagonists might interact with the world in different ways. But for Diva, we might learn a little bit about where she came from. Maybe we will, maybe we won't. We'll have to find out in the game. But that's not the only world that we revealed in our recent PR drop. We've also got the Mare Nostrum, which is kind of an ocean-inspired world. And so what's the deal with this world? What's the story behind what's going on in Mare Nostrum?
そうですね。マーレ・ノストラムには、この世界海神っていう、神がいて、その神様が、願いを叶えてくれる。でその願いを奪い合って、海賊だったりいろんな勢力が常に争っているんですね。そういう世界に、ポッと入っていって巻き込まれていく、もしくはその争いを解決していく、そういう話です。
So we kind of got these bands of warring pirates and various factions fighting over this egg to get a wish granted to them. And we kind of insert ourselves into the story, and maybe we resolve the problems, maybe we make some extra problems. That's kind of the fun of discovering how exactly the world ends up when you're finished with it. Is one of the exciting things about SaGa Emerald Beyond. So look forward to that when we actually get in the game. And so the last world we want to touch on for this video is the world of Kamala, which is kind of a nature jungle inspired, not quite jungle, but kind of a nature inspired world that we can travel in SaGa Emerald Beyond. So what's the story behind this world? We see that there are a bunch of trees and there are a bunch of interesting plantoid creatures. So what's going on in this world?
植物を由来の生命体が存在していて、当然その人間だったり、普通の動物とはまた違った生命のサイクルで生きているんですね、彼ら。でその世界で、なんていうんですか、大きな花が咲いて、その花が咲いて枯れて、大地に恵みをもたらす、そういうサイクルがあって、その花になるために選ばれるキャラクターがいるんですね、NPC がいるんですけれど、そのキャラクターを導く役割を主人公が実はその世界に招かれてやることになるんですけれど、その位置にメカであるディーヴァがそれをやると。でディーヴァと植物のそのキャラクターが2人で旅をすると、そういう話になります。
Ah, that's cool. Okay. I have one other question about this world, something that I think might be interesting for our viewers to know at home. So we've had a lot of worlds that are inspired by real life, either in terms of the world setting or the naming or stuff like that. And I understand that the naming in this world comes from something very, very close to Japan. So what's the naming behind the world?
カマラ自体はその初の花ですけれども、いろんな名前はそのアイヌの方のアイヌ語から実は頂戴してまして、彼らが持つようなその生命感だったり世界観だったりということを取り入れて世界形作ってます。
So as you can see, you can learn a little bit about world history too by playing SaGa Emerald Beyond. You can see kind of where these influences come from, and maybe you can use that as kind of a springboard to further your own education. So we like playing and we like learning. You can do both in this game. And so yeah, that wraps up our video for today about the latest info drop on SaGa Emerald Beyond. By the time you're seeing this video, it'll be just a few short weeks. April 25th, 2024 is the release of SaGa Emerald Beyond. So if you're looking forward to the game, you can probably, I think pre-orders are probably open by the time you see this video. You can pre-order it. You can add it to your wish list on Steam, for example. And yes, make sure to follow us on Twitter. Like the video if you enjoyed it. Subscribe to the YouTube channel. And this is Neil, and I will see you next time on SaGa Emerald Beyond. Bye, everybody.